Have you noticed for some people, making decisions seems like a breeze or a walk in the park, while for others it literally causes a flight or fight reaction? Some say we make every day over 35,000 decisions, from seemingly insignificant questions such as which cup to use in the morning, to more severe questions such as should I quit my job and find a better one? It doesn't really matter how many decisions you make in a day. Fact is, you make tons of them, if you want to or not. But how can you make sure that you make the right decisions? Let's have a look together at what can help you improve your decision making. Hello, my name is Milun. I'm a self-leadership and leadership coach accredited by the International Coaching Federation. Though some decisions will not always have a significant impact on your life, other decisions can cause drastic change, which can't easily turn back into the previous status quo. If most of us are really honest, we don't like consequences that hurt or that don't pay off. Let's say you don't put on your seatbelt and end up in an accident. You get injured and you will regret that you didn't put on your seatbelt, as it could have prevented you from having severe injuries. So every decision, no matter if big or small, has an impact on your life. And it will have some consequence, some wonderful and some awful, and sometimes somewhere in between. The tough thing about that, and what causes us sometimes to procrastinate or avoid decision making, is that we are responsible for our decisions. No one is responsible for your decisions but you. Even if you follow the advice of others, it is in the end your choice. Except, of course, you are a minor or in circumstances that don't allow you or prevent you from making your own decisions. However, even then, many decisions are still your own, due to the fact that majority of the time, adulthood means tons of important decisions to make every day. Some people freeze or hesitate when they're supposed to make a quick decision. Fear or anxiety of making a wrong choice, or having to live with whatever consequences, or not being able to always estimate what is the perfect decision, makes people freeze. This can cause a lack of decision making. But we have to keep in mind, not making decision is already you making a decision. Because at some point, your too late is too late. You not making a decision, staying passive, means that you decide to not agree to an option or not saying directly no to an option. And so consequently, there is a decision made. So not making a clear decision is a passive way of deciding and later blaming it on the circumstances. Oh, I'm too late. And then there's the other side. The ones who make decisions rather impulsively without much thought to it, which usually backfires if you don't have a good foundation beforehand. Of course, these are two extremes, and maybe sometimes you find yourself on one or the other side. However, we want to look into what can help you find a balanced way of making decisions with a sound mind that don't take you hours or days to come to a conclusion, which brings us to the main ingredients for better decision making and quicker decision making. Know your core base. If you watch my other videos, you heard me talk before about self-awareness and how important self-awareness is. Well, if you fed up about hearing it, I have to disappoint you, because self-awareness is essential for decision making. When I talk to clients who struggle with decision making or who are facing indecisiveness, I usually observe varieties of causes. Maybe the options are not in alignment with their core values, or maybe it's a gray zone, so it's hard for them to estimate what is the best option or what the outcome would be. Or maybe you don't even know what your core values are. You might have a sense of it, but not full clarity. Indecisiveness can be a strong indicator that something is not clear to you about yourself, or something within you is hindering you to make free and healthy choices. This can be pressure that you have intrinsically. It can also be pressure that you experience from your surroundings, so external factors. No matter if it's an internal or external influence, it shows that you are not confident enough in your own point of view and your values and the direction you want to take. So first of all, don't beat yourself up. Oh, I'm so indecisive. Just acknowledge first, oh, here is an issue. How can I fix that? Maybe you feel drawn into one direction, but you feel obligated to go the opposite way because that's what the people around you or in your life would expect from you or demand. Maybe you're not sure which decision brings you closer to your future goals because you're not even sure where you want to be in whatever year, 5 years, 10 years. You don't have a clear direction. Maybe you're confused because some changes happened recently in your life and you first have to adapt to your new circumstances before you can actually say, this is the future I want. Then how do you make decisions in that situation? Maybe you have a sense of direction, but you never put them into words. It could also be that all you need is a space where you can speak it out and process out loud what you actually want, but in your environment, you don't feel a safe space. Here, obviously, it makes sense to find someone like a mentor, coach, a counselor, someone who is willing and able to just listen without pushing you in a direction and giving you the space to really discover what is within you and what hinders you from making decisions. However, reality is that we need to understand ourselves better to make wise decisions. Discernment will not be possible if you don't know what the standards, values, and measures are that you want to live your life by or what you want to create. So one of the main first steps is to start to get to know your values and standards. What are the ethics and morals you want and you will live by? Feel free to watch the other videos I made about self-awareness, listen to my podcast. There are many resources that help you to understand yourself better. But today I want to give you something also practical that you can implement right away while you go on the journey on discovering your own standards and values. In 2008, Google, sorry if I say the name wrong, invented the DECIDE model at the University of Hawaii West Oahu. It is a helpful tool that can assist you in making quicker and wiser decisions. Every letter stands for a specific step. If you look throughout the different areas or domains where this model is used, for example, by pilots or healthcare providers, you see sometimes the words they use vary. I will give you today an understanding of each step of this model that in general is consistent throughout the fields. Decide, define, or detect. This covers kind of the question, what is actually the problem? Here, clearly point out to yourself or your team, what is the decision that needs to be made? E, establish or estimate. Does this problem really need attention? What are relevant factors? What is the current situation? Here, you need to discern what are the different factors that are relevant for this decision. What all impacts the actual decision? C, consider or choose. What are alternatives? What are the pros and cons of these alternatives? Explore what are the different solutions and options available to you in the situation. If already possible, think about the different action steps each solution would require of you. I, identify what is the best alternative. What would bring you the most benefit? What would bring you the closest to your desired outcome? Or which outcome would you prefer the most from all the solutions that are offered to you? Assess the quality of these options in comparison to the formed criteria. D, develop, decide, do. How could now really the action steps or the action plan look like? Here, you take the option that you picked, you create practical actionable steps like a final action plan that you can implement. Then start taking these steps and go into this direction, which brings us to E, evaluate. Observe how does it turn out. Even while you're already taking action steps, you can do this evaluation. Anyhow, latest at the end, obviously, you should evaluate which direction you should take. Assess the outcomes. If possible, ask for feedback and learn from it. Or if possible, while you're still in the process, make adjustments. These are very practical 6 steps you can take to get closer in making quicker decisions and better decisions and getting a habit of making decisions. This decision making will benefit you in your work life, in your private life, and will improve your communication. Communication without having a clear direction and without being able to make decisions well will be very hard. Therefore, you becoming more confident in decision making, you not reacting too fast, but also not too slow, but finding a healthy balance is necessary and important for you to live your life more impactful, effectively, and successfully. Furthermore, people who are more decisive in a very balanced way are more likable. People will turn to you for advice. They will observe you, how you live your life, and how you make decisions. That means you will appear more reliable and more convincing as a leader or as someone in a responsible position. I hope this video helped you today. If you have questions, just leave a comment. I'm happy to see you in the next video.